Guys, I just got into a car accident. Okay, so let me tell you what happened, right? So I was driving down this long stretch of road, and it's pretty big actually. There's like one, two, three lanes, and then like when you have to turn, and there's like 5 lanes or something like that. So it's like it's really big, right? It's a really big roads, whatever. But I was crying earlier. Like, I was really crying. But when I was driving, there's this car that cut right in front of me. He cut right in front of me. And in my head, I was like, okay, so he cut right in front of me. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to put on brakes. I'm going to blow the horn. Right? So what I did was, like, what I realized is that putting on brakes was not enough. Putting on brakes was not enough. I was going to hit this fool because he's right in front of me and he's going slower than I am. So I was going to hit this fool. And it's amazing to me because I can't actually figure out why he did this or why people do this. I can't figure out why, because this is not the first time this actually happened, where in this specific situation, this is very, very, like, for example, on this road, there's no cars in front of me. There's no cars in front of him in his lane, right? And he still, for some reason, decided to cut close in front of me, slow, and he's slow. He still decided to do that. And I couldn't quite understand why in the world would you do that? There's no reason. It's not like you were trying to squeeze in because there's so many cars and my lane is going faster. You decided to cut in front of me simply because you saw there's less cars all the way in front of me, but then in your lane all the way in front of you. It's amazing to me. Like, you're supposed to get enough space before you cut over. And so, yeah, so what I did is that I blew the horn. No, I braked. And then I blew the horn. I realized those things weren't enough because, of course, like, when you put on the brakes, of course the car's not going to stop, like, immediately. It's going to slow down and then stop. But then he's going, like, I'm going 45 miles per hour. He's probably, I don't even know how far he was going, how fast he was going, but he was going less faster than I was. And so what I did is that instead of going into the lane next to him, because I saw some cars coming from the back over to me. I saw some cars doing that. Instead of going into that lane over there, instead of rear-ending him in the back of his car, the only other option I had was to go across the dividers in the road. And there were two, right? And so I hit them both. Of course, I hit them both, and I went flying over it into the other lane. I flew over into the other lane, like the opposite, the incoming traffic. But, like, for me, like, fortunate enough for me, it's like there was no cars in the other lane, and there was no cars that was going in that other lane. You know what I mean? Like, because I saw that there was no cars in that other lane, but it really matters if there's oncoming traffic. It matters if there's going to be a car going into that lane, right? But there was none. There was none at all. And so what I did is that once I flew over into the oncoming traffic in a turning lane, right? It was in a turning lane, so that's the reason why there was barely any cars. But I put on my emergency flashers. But after doing all that, right? After doing all that, my genius self, because I'm freaking genius, I forgot to put my car in park. I forgot to put my car in park. So what happened is that a cop saw me, right, with my two front tires, and then he saw me, and then he decided to put on his lights. So I was like, okay, so I'm confused. I don't even know what the frick to do, right? So I'm happy to see somebody that will help me. And the moment I opened the door and tried to get out of the car, my car started moving because it wasn't in park. And I was about to hit some cars like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, where's my brake pedal? Because half my foot is out the door and half my foot is over there. And then I looked down and then I saw my brake pedal and then I put my foot on the brake pedal. I was about to hit some cars just because I forgot to put it in park. So meanwhile, my brain is like, press on brakes. Okay, so that doesn't work. Look at the car around you. Blow the horn. So while my brain is doing all this, okay, so the only other options you have is to go across the dividers to not hit any cars, right? While my brain was doing all this, I forget the most simplest thing to do, which is put my car in park. The most simplest things, emergency flashes, everything, but so anyway, I didn't hit any cars, right? And my car is it's not effed up, because the only thing that's wrong with my cars is really the equipment in the car, the equipment, the electronic, like, you know, with the Bluetooth and all that. It's a little buggy, but I'm pretty sure it'll work. I'm pretty sure, because I know technology a little bit. But what else happened? My rims on my car are bent. Like the 2 front rims. The 2 back ones, they're okay. So what the people at the repair shop tried to do, because there was apparently a repair shop right next to me. It's a small little repair shop, but it was right next to me. And the cop, right? The cop led me to the repair shop when I was driving. And the cop also, when he was driving, he blocked off the rest of the traffic, and he got the traffic to stop on the other side as I was, you know, entering the gas station, repair shop. And so, yeah, so that's what happened. So anyway, I actually had a job interview that day, but I couldn't go to it because of what the guy did to me, right? So I couldn't go to this job interview, and I was so happy and I was so psyched to go there, right? But, so, I can't even really think right now. But after I got into the station and they started repairing on my car, they started hitting the rims with a metal hammer and all that, and they kept doing it, and then they got it to move a little bit, because it was bent, and so they had to put it back in place, but they didn't carry the type of rims like what I needed. So it's okay, because they end up taking the wheels off the front, of course, and then they put them in the back. They filled up my tires, because my tires weren't busted. They just went out of, like, air and all that. So my tires are fine. It's just my rims. That's it. It's just my rims. And so, the cop told me that I was really blessed that, my car didn't flip over. I was blessed that, you know, I didn't get in a car accident. I didn't hit anybody. And also, I figure it like this. And also, I'm right next to a repair shop. So, I'm right next to a repair shop. So, that's pretty cool, right? Um, I make a lot of mistakes in life. Like, really, I really do. But, like, I feel like in that situation, I handled it better than, like, a lot of people would have handled it. Um, you know, I really do. Because I really don't, because I went flying, and the cop told me my car could turn over, right, and landed, and I could have died, like, because the moment it flew over, it's like, you know, it's just gravity from now, right? And frick, I feel like I did the right thing, because I didn't have any other choice. But other people, like, it just sucks, because, like, my insurance company said that it would be my fault, right? My fault if I ended up rear-ending him. And it's like, well, it's not really that black and white. When he got in front of me, he cut very close to me, and he was going slower than me. And so what choice did I have, right? If I were to, let's just say that if I didn't actually, like, think, you know, if I panicked, because, like, this is a situation I can't foresee, so therefore I didn't put myself into that situation. So if I ended up crashing into the back of his car, my insurance told me that it would be my fault, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy, because I tried my very best to avoid the car accident, and it's, you know, it's just something I can't prevent. It's his issue, it's his fault, because, you know, whatever, yo. So anyway, that's what happened to me today, and I'm not still shaken up about it. I'm not shaken up about it at all, because I realized that I did my best. And hmm, It's crazy. It's really crazy.